Students, today I am going to teach you about poetry. Today's poetry is Dust of Snow. It is written by the famous poet named Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet. He was a school teacher. He had struggled a lot in his life. He had spent his life among the common people. He knows the problems and difficulties of common people. He was writing different books. He did not get recognition in his own home country, that is the United States of America. He went to England. When he went to England, he was recognized as an author and poet in England. After a few years, he came back to America. When he came back to his hometown, he got the recognition as a writer and author in his life. So this is short about Robert Frost. Now I will explain to you about the poetry. So I will guide you through with the help of my laptop. Okay, student. So the title of the poetry is Dust of Snow. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So this is a beautiful poetry written by Robert Frost. The title itself speaks about the poetry. So we need to understand the mindset of the poet. So what does the poet wants to tell us through this short poetry? The poet has some intention in his mind. So what I understood from this poetry is that this poetry is centering between pessimism versus optimism. Pessimism means the people who think in a negative way, or the people who think only in a pessimistic way. They belong to the school of pessimism. The people who think in a positive way, the people who always have a positive attitude in life, they are called optimistic people. They belong to the school of optimism. So this way we can understand. So the poet wants to give us a message, or he wants to show us how he is jumping from negative experience to positive experience. How he wants to teach through this poetry how we can change our negative thoughts into positive. How we can change our way of thinking from negative to positive. From the poetry we can understand how the poet has used the negative object and it has used with a positive object to give a positive meaning. And he wants to think in that way. Like the first word in the title of the poetry, Dust of Snow. Dust tells us something dirt, something which we do not like. Nobody likes dirt. Whenever we see dust on the desk or benches, we first clean it, then we sit or use that object. So we can understand the negative word dust is used. The poet could have used powder of snow. Powder he could have used. That would have sound better. But purposely he is using dust. He has a purpose to change our mindset, to change our thought process. That's why he has added dust with the beautiful word snow. When we say snow, snow means something beautiful, something very awesome, something very beautiful. So here in this poetry, we need to imagine that where the poet was standing. So we can just visualize that there was a beautiful scenery covered with snow. It was a snowy time. The poet was experiencing the coldness of that environment. You can imagine there was a hill, there was a tree, There were trees, there were birds, but purposely the poet is trying to picturize this particular tree named hemlock tree and particular bird crow. So why he is using these words? The crow is a negative symbol for the people in the society. People do not like crow crowing in front of them. When they hear the sound of the crow crowing, they feel upset. They feel that something bad is going to happen. It seems that it will bring a bad omen to their life. It will bring bad omen to their day. That's why people in the society, they do not like to hear the crowing of the crow. So you can understand. But the poet is using all this dust, crow and hemlock tree to give us a message. Like here, let us understand line by line. The way a crow shook down on me. So you can imagine that the poet was standing under the tree or just close to the tree, and the crow was sitting on that hemlock tree. There was a hemlock tree, so the crow was sitting on that hemlock tree. So the crow was also covered with snow. You can imagine that it was snowy place, it had become snowy, and the snow had covered the hills and trees. Everything was covered with snow. Similarly, the crow was covered with snow. So when it tried to open up its feathers, or when it tried to shake the branch where it was sitting, so maybe the poet was under the tree. So when it shook, then the dust of snow, the powder of snow fell over him, and he was and what does the poet expresses in the second stanza? Let's see. Has given my heart a change of mood. As soon as that powder of snow or the dust of snow fell over him, his mood changed. That means we can understand the psychology of the poet, that the poet was upset and he was in a depressed mood. He was unhappy. He was in a tension mood. Maybe he was tensed for something which he has not mentioned here. So his mood was sad. But now when the powder of snow, with the help of the crow shaking the branch of the hemlock tree, the powder of snow fell over him and his mood changed. So that was a moment of happiness. That was a moment of delight for the poet. And the poet was really touched with this experiment, with this experience. And what the poet says? Poet says, and saved some part of a day I had rued. R-U-E-D, rued means rude. R-U-E-D, rude means regret. So the poet is telling that I have saved the rest of my day. The rest of the day went on very well because he experienced the happiness, the delight, because the crow shook the branch of the hemlock tree and the powder of snow fell over him and his mood changed. He was totally a reformed person. He became a transformed person. So this is what exactly the poet wants to tell us. So what do we learn from this short poetry? See, the poet has used the word dust, crow and hemlock tree. These three objects have become like a messenger, like a channel of peace and happiness for him. So these negative objects, which is considered, people consider these three things as a negative thing, as very bad. But for the poet, these three objects have become a source of inspiration, a source of happiness, a source of delight for him. So from this we can understand that we form some ideas in our minds. We form some wrong conception about people in our society. We think that this particular person is good for nothing. Nothing good can come from this person. We perceive this way. We try to make our thoughts in that way, and we think that they are good for nothing. He or she is good for nothing. But remember, my dear students, we should understand that good things also can come from the person whom we consider that he or she is good for nothing. So good thing can come from anyone. So we should never draw logical conclusion on anyone, because we never know what good things can come from that particular person or from that particular object. So we should change the perspective of thinking in our day-to-day life. We should broaden our outlook. We should broaden our thought process. So we should not become negative in our thoughts and in our thinking. We should become positive in our thought process. We should cultivate positive habits, positive thoughts, and we should always look in a positive perspective. In this way we can become, in this week we can make our life happier, and we can make the life of others happier. So I hope you have understood what I was trying to tell you through this short poetry. So now let me tell you that how to write your question answers. See, in the board examination, there are three ways of asking questions. The first set of questions will be asked in the form of reference to the context, and the second one is asked for answer the following questions in 30 to 40 words. You have to answer in that particular limit. And third set of questions you will be asked in the form of value based. That is like the questions which will come in value based will be in the form of statement or proverb. Like here, little things matter much. Like here, one good thing what we can learn from here is the little things matter much means like a little incident made a huge difference in the life of the poet. So we should never think that this is just a little, but little things can make a huge difference in the life. So we should understand this thing in our day-to-day life, and we should apply it in our life. So this is what exactly the poet wants to tell us. So suppose if the statement comes, little things matter much, elucidate the statement with the help of the poetry dust of snow. Then you should explain in that way, that we should never take for granted that little means nothing will happen. Like we have heard the thought, a little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Yes, dear students, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So we can apply it to our life also. If we learn every day little by little, we will learn so many things in our life. So every single step that we take will add up a huge in our life. So we learn. So we should draw some lesson from this short poetry and apply into our life. And we should become a people of positive thinking. In this way, we'll grow in life, and our life will be very interesting, and it will be really effective in our life. So I hope you have understood and try to make use of it. And there is a literary device also is used, metaphor and what you call alliteration. You can see alliteration here, like a saved some, SS. Alliteration is the repetition of the consonant letters. Sometimes it is vowel also, but usually it goes with the consonant letter. Like here, the last second line, saved some part, and saved some part, SS. So both the words starting letter is consonant letter. So this is alliteration. So alliteration. Here you can understand that the figure of speech, alliteration is used. And rude, I told you, that is the regret. That meaning is regret. And shook is the second form of verb. Shake, shook, shaken. SHOOK. This is the meaning is shaking. When you shake something. So that second form of verb is shook. Shake, shook. Shake is the first form. Second form of verb is shook. So this way we should understand the poetry. Dust of snow. Dust you can resemble to dirt also. It's like another word for dirt. But here dust is used for the powder of snow. So you can understand that way. I hope you have understood, and you will make use of this poetry, and you will write your question answers in a very effective way. Thank you.